I think I'm live. If you guys can hear me, if anybody's there, please say you can hear me. I think I'm live. Yay. I'm going to wait a few minutes just to let a few people get into the live. Again, please let me know if you can hear me okay. All righty. So I am live. Let's see. You can hear me okay? Just say, okay, good luck. Hey, red state, blue state, welcome back. How you been? You been okay? It's been a while, I know, since I did a live. I'm just gonna wait like about 30 more seconds for folks to get in the room. All righty. So today, this is going to be, oh, good. Oh, you're doing your paralegal degree? Oh, that's wonderful. We can always use paralegals. What state are you in? Are you in, I'm here in California. Where are you? We can always use paralegals. Okay, I'm gonna wait for like maybe one more person to come in and then we're gonna get started. So I'm not gonna keep you. Oh, Colorado. Oh, really? I think we used to go to church in Newport Beach, either Newport Beach or Redondo Beach. I can't remember, but yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations. I wish you well, and I know you'll do fine. So, I just wanted to come on today and do a live. Welcome. This is December's, and I'm looking at my notes. I took a lot of notes for this live. Welcome to December's first Friday night live, which is on Saturday. Okay. And so, we do what we want to do. So this is the first Friday night live for December, but we doing it on Saturday. Okay. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm Colette Elizabeth, and I just want to welcome you to the community. During our first Friday night lives, we just talk about all kind of stuff. We talk about the channel milestones first, and then we talk about current events. We just talk about stuff. So let's go ahead and catch up on the channel milestones. One thing I forgot to say is we also talk about random stuff on this channel. So on the live. So you'll see me with my book. I'll try to be more discreet with it, but everybody knows me. So anyway, so as far as the channel milestones are concerned, the community is 1,530 strong. And I just want to thank you guys because these are organic numbers. I did not pay a market person to, do my SEO, none of that. I did the search engine optimization, keywords and all that. I do it myself. So, and I'm learning, as you know. So this 1,530 folks in the community, that's all organic traffic. So I want to thank you guys because you all helped as well by sharing the video and doing what you do. If you make comments, that helps to promote the video. YouTube will then put it and set it up so that it gets in other people's algorithm. The channel has received over 4,500 views. I'm pretty proud. 45,000 views. Pretty proud of that. The channel's a year old, and again, this is all organic. We published 145 community posts. The posts are where you can find out information that's happening with the channel. It's kind of like, if I had to describe it, it's like an Instagram post, but for YouTube. So what you would do is you would go to the page and you will see something that says community, and that's where the community posts are. The community posts are also where I do polls. So I try to do at least two polls a month, because I'm trying to get information from you all about the things you'd like to see. And I'll talk a little bit about polls a little bit later. We have done 100 videos, 6 lives. This is our 7th live. And speaking of lives, I want to give a shout out to Ike. He is the reason we have a live tonight. When I say my community can get to me and get a message to me, they don't wait. They don't put it in the comments. They do what they need to do to get a message to me. So I got a message to me that, hey, tell your mama she needs to start back doing the lives. So, okay, I'm doing the live. So you guys tell Ike thank you in the comments, okay, for this live. And we do have most of the people who watch the channel are women based on my analytics, but we have men that watch the channel, and I'm grateful for that. Let's see. Some of the posts that I put in the community channel, some of the posts I put in the community post, I ask questions. So for example, I did a post about Dr. Mae Jemison. She's the first African-American woman to go to space. I asked folks, hey, do you want me to do a video on her? People said yes. So look for a video coming out about Dr. Mae Jemison. That's going to be on, that's going to be a part of Tell Our Own Story or Tell Our Own History, Teach Our Own History series. So that will be coming out. Let's see. I also asked folks if they wanted me to conduct a personal vision. Let's see. Oh yeah, I know what it was. During a post, and it was for Evaluate Your Life Day. I asked folks, would they like for me to conduct a live on personal vision planning? And they said yes. So I will probably conduct this live during January's first Friday night live. So look out for that. So I may just dedicate that entire live in January, the first Friday in January, to conducting a personal vision planning session. Now, I normally charge, and I've been doing it for years. I charge for these sessions, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and just put it out there to the community so we can go ahead and get some planning and visioning for our coming year in 2024. I did do a poll, and that poll question asked, would you like for me to include videos where I discuss my opinions about current events that impact Black women as they are covered in the news, in online articles, and on other sources? And 88% of those who responded said yes. So look out for more videos on, like, I might read an article and then I'll give you my opinion and then I'll ask you what you think. Those will probably be short. So 2024, we got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. So I want to get to, let's see. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about, a few of my most popular videos. The number one, the most popular video I have is why are Black women leaving their jobs and joining the Great Resignation? That video got over 10,751 views. So for a channel of this size at this time, that's a big thing. The second most popular video was microaggressions, a weapon used to silence Black women. That got over 6,050 views. And then the third most popular video I have was Black women will continue leaving until employers, and I give some tips on what employers can do to keep Black women. But that video got a lot of views too. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a few of the comments from the top performing videos, and we're going to discuss them briefly. One of the comments that I received on the video, why are Black women leaving their jobs and joining the Great Resignation? That was a part of the Black Women Get Out series. This was part 3. I think that particular series had 9 or 10 episodes in it. You might want to check it out. But anyway, this comment, I just received this comment 3 months ago. And keep in mind, that video, I published that video last year, but YouTube is still pushing it out. So people are still looking at it. But 3 months ago, I got a comment that says, thank you for discussing. This is not unique to the USA. I am from the UK, United Kingdom. The situation is the same here. So this comment lets you know that people are resonating with the content, and that some of the content is applicable to other areas, and that we have folks watching from all around the world. And I think I had shared that with you guys in another video. Another comment we received was, none of these things on your list. I think I gave 13 things. It said, none of these things on your list were a surprise to me, but what I realized is that my last job contained about 10 possibly of all 13 factors. So in the video, why Black women are leaving their jobs, I list 13 reasons why they're leaving. And what she is saying is that 10 of the 13th applied to her at her last job. She goes on to say, I left that job in June, and I am building my own full-time private practice, as well as working as a part-time to supplement her income. I'm proud of us as Black women. We are choosing our own happiness and being fearless. And so I really, really appreciate that comment, because it lets you know that, hey, this channel is making a difference in the lives of Black women and people in general. Another comment I'll read is, this is really a thing, and it is completely exhausted. I just received my master's degree in nursing informatics, and I cringe at the thought of going into corporate America and dealing with this behavior. I dealt with this in nursing for 15 years. I have to find a way to make this degree and my experience work for me. I don't want to work for any organizations. Again, this was to my top performing video. And then the last comment I'll read you for the top performing video is, it says, thank you, Colette. I also have a master's degree, and the job I have had were toxic amongst management and between coworkers. I do not work so hard in school. I did not work so hard in school to suffer at work due to the ignorance and inequities. My ancestors did not work so hard for my rights to become acknowledged, for me to put up with the isms at work, racism, ageism, sexism, etc. She says, anyway, thank you for being a voice for educated Black women in corporate America and sharing your knowledge, experience, and wisdom. So those comments were for the top performing video. I'll read you one comment for the second top performing video, or the second popular video, which was called Microaggressions, a weapon used to silence Black women in the workplace. And this comment is also, this video was also a part of the Black Women Get Out series. That was part number 5. But this comment says, is there a general consensus among Black women that Black men are not impacted by any of the forms of racism? Is there a belief among Black people that Black men are insulated from the harms of racism via the concept of male privilege? I see hundreds of videos, trainings, courses, and discussions on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, that are comprised of mostly non-white women and a few white people, and very few, if any, Black men. I have observed many Black women offering solutions, strategies to defeat racism, or ensuring the outcomes of DEI strategies are realized to Black women. Has the individually practiced racism been so successful that Black women have been led to believe that Black men are not worth protecting? Now, this comment came in today. Actually, yesterday. I was trying to respond to the comment today, and I don't know what I did to it. I did respond, but I hit the wrong button and it disappeared. So it's not going to show up in the comments. And the reason I read this comment is because I get quite a few questions like that from Black men and from non-Black women. And they want to know, basically what they want to know is, why am I just talking about Black women? So when I answered this particular comment, is there a from to this question, it was, is there a general consensus among Black women that Black men are not impacted by any of the forms of racism? Um, is there a belief among Black women, excuse me, about Black people, that Black men are insulated from the harms of racism via the concept of male privilege? My response to this person, and he's not going to get it if he's a man. I don't know what it is, but I don't believe that Black men are not impacted by racism. I don't believe it. I believe that they are impacted by racism. Okay. And you'll never hear me say on my channel that Black men are not impacted by racism, nor will you hear me imply or infer that Black men are insulated from the harms of racism because of male privilege. Okay. What you'll hear me say is that, and what I also say is, I have been aware of my own brothers, being impacted by racism. So to me, it's kind of absurd, but I understand the question. I get the frustration. Sometimes Black men feel that when Black women talk about issues that we are concerned with specifically, apart from being Black, we are also women. So as a Black woman, when I'm talking about some of the things I experience as it relates to the isms, I am speaking specifically about the intersectionality of two things: the intersectionality of me being Black, and the intersectionality of me being a woman. And those particular uh, groups, I belong to those two groups. I cannot disconnect those, because when I am talking about race, there are things that come up as it relates to sexism. And that is something that is of concern to me as a Black woman. On the other hand, when I talk about sexism and I'm in groups, or I try to engage in groups that have to deal with sexism, well, sexism, the way I experience it, is different from the way what society calls the majority of women. When they say women and don't put a prefix on it, usually we all know that that's white women. Just the very fact that we know when people say women, and we know that the white part is, implied, that tells you that as a Black woman, I am not really included in that group. I'm a subset of that group. So I get the frustration that many African, I shouldn't say many because I don't know if it's many, but I should say the ones that come on my channel and make comments, I get their frustration, but the frustration is not, I don't think it's directed in a way that that is intellectually honest, in terms of thinking that Black women are not down for Black men when it comes to social issues. You have a lot of social issues where Black women were not only the creators of these social response organizations, but they are actually the activators. So I think those actions show that Black women do not think that Black men are not harmed or impacted by racism. The last part of the question was, what did it say? Has the individually practiced racism been so successful that Black women have been led to believe that Black men are not worth protecting? Well, it goes back to what I said earlier, that Black women have been there. We've been down for Black men. We've done a lot of the work, shoulder to shoulder. And we have to be honest, we have not always gotten all of the credit or acknowledgement that we've been there, but we've still been there to do the work. And I'm not here to start a gender-based argument between Black men and Black women. That's not what this channel is about. The channel is simply saying, hey, I have my content and it's curated for Black women. However, what I'll share with you is anybody who is interested in self-empowerment and empowering others can utilize the information. And I welcome them to do that, and I welcome them to share. In fact, my brothers watch the channel and they comment. They're in the comments a lot of the times. Why? Because the information that I provide, as well as the topics that I discuss, though they can be applicable to other groups that I'm not specifically talking to, uh, that's I'm talking to Black women, but other people can hear, they can get involved. And so we don't have to have this kind of back and forth. So I hope that answers the question, and I hope that he sees this video so that he can see his answer. I didn't try to delete it got deleted because I messed up. Another comment that I'll share is on another video. It is, Black women will continue leaving until employers do these two things. And this was a part of the Black Women Get Out series as well. It was part number 8. And the response I actually got today was, yes, 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 I'm in total agreement. The last comment I'll share is from a video that it's a good performing video, but it was the video that was entitled, We Both Survived Toxic Jobs and We're Healing. I received a recent comment that says, both of you ladies, I had Dr. Kamani Sands on the channel. Her channel is called Lifting as We Climb, Consulting Wellness Services. Both of you ladies were godsend, encouraging me daily. I am so grateful to hear your perspectives on these toxic jobs. I left my toxic plantation along with a 6-figure salary with full benefits earlier this year. The person goes on to say, it's hard to shake the trauma, but I'm hanging in there. This should be a national movement. So I just wanted to share with you the comments that I get so that you can understand that the channel, for some people, is making a difference. Okay, it is making a difference. And I started the channel because I did want to make a difference. And I wanted to let Black women know that you are not alone when you are out here in these jobs and you're experiencing trauma, you're being harassed, you're having microaggression occur to you. You're not alone. So I just wanted to let you know that. And by the way, if you're here in the live stream, can you please give the video a thumbs up? That tells the YouTube algorithm to push the video out more. So if you can give it a thumbs up, I really would appreciate it. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is I want to talk about something we talked about in one of our prior lives, actually a couple of our prior lives. We talked about affirmative action. You're like, Colette, you bringing that up again? Yes, I am. Because in the prior lives, I mentioned that the U.S. Supreme Court's or SCOTUS ruling regarding affirmative action and college admission, I mentioned that college was just the beginning. Let me skip these ads. That I mentioned that college was just the beginning of efforts to dismantle affirmative action efforts. Okay, that's what I said. I said that it's probably going to roll out in other sectors. Okay, well, guess what's happened? Here we go. It started. The same people behind the Supreme Court lawsuit, the lawsuit that went to the Supreme Court that resulted in, race not being considered in college admissions, or affirmative action pretty much being dismantled or taken out of college admissions, they filed another lawsuit. And this time it had to do with capital venture funding, or venture capital funding that support Black women and other minority owned small businesses. They filed a lawsuit, the same group. Or at least the same man. And I'm not going to mention his name. You can look at the articles. I have the articles in the description. Everything that I'm referencing, all the articles will be in the description box, as well as some of the beauty videos that I'm referring to. But anyway, you know, this lawsuit was filed, and I find it just like fascinating. He filed this lawsuit even though the stats show that 79% of all venture capitalist funding go to white women. 79%. So I find it interesting that he's not attacking other group. They're not saying, hey, women shouldn't get this money. All right. It shouldn't be based on gender. Why? Because I said it earlier. When we say women, we mean white women. Now, you know, and I just find it's just not authentic when you say that I want things to be based on merit. Okay, I want it to be based on merit only when it comes to college education and different things, but then you decide to go ahead and go after other ways in which folks can get you know, to get moving with their life, right? And so you hear people say, oh, I didn't get help. I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and I did it myself. And we know that that's not true. We just simply know. We know that in the 40s and the 50s, that many of the people that make up the middle class now, that their parents were World War I, World War II veterans, and they were able to take advantage of the GI Bill, which helped them purchase a home and helped them go to college. We also know that African Americans who also fought in those wars were denied a lot of those benefits, or they were delayed. And you say, why are you bringing it up? I'm bringing it up because the current middle class inherited a lot of their wealth from who? Their parents and their grandparents, right? That's generational wealth that was made possible by US tax dollars, meaning that you did not start off with that. You were given a hand up. And that's what some people are trying to deny for other groups. Let me get to these questions. Why can't they resolve their issue? Why expect us to do it? No clue. No clue. No clue. And I think you're referring to the comment that I read that had to do with the, I'll come back to that though. I'll come back to that. Let's see. I also will read, let's see, I hope he loses this case. If not, we can always use charitable means to help Black women start businesses. It's all intentional. And, you know, I agree. I'm going to make a comment after I finish with a few things, but I'm going to come back to what you discussed, red state, blue state, because I agree with some of what you're saying, or most of it. Let's see, what was I saying? I also had mentioned in a prior video, in prior lives, that, hey, you know, this is going to roll out to other sectors. So now folks are expressing their concern about the SCOTUS decision will create challenging hiring for in corporate America. In other words, they're saying, hey, we're going to have some problems with hiring, with diversity hiring because of the affirmative action ruling. Well, for me, I'm just going to say it. If you go by merit, you're not going to have no problems. Hire the people who are qualified. And I have been in management for a very long time. And one of the things that I know and I have seen and I have experienced, and the stats bear it out, and I've said it in a number of videos, is African American women are the most educated people on the planet. That's number one. Number two, when we go for jobs, we are generally overqualified for those jobs. Okay. So if you go by merit, we'll be fine. And if you go by merit for college education, I mentioned in prior videos that I didn't think affirmative action helped us that much. We'll be fine. So I'm not going to even ponder that. But I just thought it was interesting. So there is a link to the video, to this particular article in the description box. Okay. So, you know, I have given my opinion on what I think about affirmative action, what I think about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I've given my opinion on that. So I'm not going to go over it again. I did a video called Does Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Work Include Black Women? That's a good video. Even though I did it myself, I think it's good. It tells you a lot. And I am talking from a person who has been in management for years. And do Black women have the complexion for EEO protection. That's a good video. So check them out. The links are in the description box. But I'm not concerned. So you may say, what's my point? Colette, what's your point of telling us all this? You keep bringing it up. I keep bringing it up because I'm going to tell you, Black women and Black people, keep doing your thing. Okay? Keep doing what you're doing. We've been getting into schools, okay, based on merit, okay? We've been getting into schools. I'm going to give you a story. My daughter goes to, well, she graduated. Both of them graduated from a very good school, very excellent school, actually, one of the top schools in the nation. And she had a person who belongs to the group that wanted to get rid of affirmative action. She had this person say to her, you got in to such and such school. You got in here because you're Black. And I believe she told him, I think she told me she said that. And if she didn't, she should have told him, no, she got in because she had the highest GPA you can get in California. And you say, Colette, what's the point of your story? The point of the story is we've been meeting the qualifications and exceeding them. So the actual myth that Black people weren't meeting the qualifications, that's why we need affirmative action. It's a myth. Now there was, and I think there still is, but there was a period where even with our qualifications, because we were Black or we are African American, and I don't say people of color, I'll never say that. I'm not a POC. I don't believe in that. I'm Black or I'm African American, and I'm not going to ever change that, right? But there was a period of time where, and it still is, where they look and they see what we are and we don't get in. And that's just what it is, okay? That's the reality of it. But were we able to qualify to get in? We were. So that's why I'm saying we just need to keep doing what we're doing, because I've already told you and the stats have already shown us that those programs ended up benefiting white women. Okay. And now, let's see. We've been getting the jobs. I remember when I applied for my job that I retired from, I had worked at almost 30 years. And I went on to the interview. There was a Caucasian man and a Black woman. And the moment I walked in, the man let me know, and we know the look. Those of us who were born here, we know the look. He let me know that he did not want to interview me, that he don't want me to have his job. And he made it very, very clear, okay? I was 20 some years old. The woman, older Black woman at the table, gave me a welcoming smile, shook my hand. He looked at me like he did, like I had something on me. Very blatant. And during the time I worked, it was a government job. So, the questions are structured. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe he asked me a question that was not even a part of the interview questions. I answered it and I nailed it. And I knew because I saw the older Black woman with her head down making the notes, and she smiled like she got you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we've been qualified. So I don't want us to be worried about this stuff. That's other people to worry about. Okay. They gonna have to worry about that. So I'll give you another example. The job that I left and have been there almost 30 years, I was one of the only people who had a master's degree. Actually, I was the only person who had a master's degree. All of the Blacks, 100% of the Blacks in management had a bachelor's degree. Okay. Maybe 30 to 40% of the Hispanics had a bachelor's degree, and 0% of the whites had bachelor's degree. Now that I've left, that position has gone to a Caucasian man. Actually, one of the higher positions went to a Caucasian man who has no college education, none. Okay. The entire region has all men running it. Out of the three, only one has a college degree. The person who's over the entire area is a non-white and non-Black male. I'm not even going to say what race he is, but he has no college education. Okay. You say, Colette, what's the point? The point is we have always been qualified, Black women, Black men. We've been qualified. We've been doing the stuff. So if they're going to remove the racial component of it and we're going to just do merit based, just think of Simone Biles in the Olympics. We're going to do what we do because we already know how to work it. Okay? Let's just keep it 100% real. So you don't have to worry about nothing, Black women. We going to be all right. Okay? We going to be all right. What's funny to me is I just saw a video from another content creator. I watch him quite a bit. And I'll link his video in the description box below. Phillip Scott, Phillip Scott, and he talked about how the group that joined with the man who brought the affirmative action lawsuit, they are now expressing or voicing some concerns because while some of them, many of them, felt that they did not benefit from affirmative action, that they were hurt by it because Blacks were being admitted over them. And their premise was that Blacks were being admitted because of affirmative action over them. That was what they said, right? They're realizing now, and they should have realized before, because some people in their group even said, hey, removing this is going to hurt us. Okay? Because the reality is that group that was with the man who took that lawsuit to the Supreme Court to remove affirmative action from, college admissions considerations, people in that group that worked with this person said, hey, this may hurt us. And they're realizing that now. One of the things that I have told my children is protect our allyship. We, African Americans, Black people, have allied for everyone. And when we have asked for allyship, not too many people come up. Now, we do have some. I'm not going to say we by ourselves. I would never say that. During civil rights in the 1960s, there were non-Blacks there. There were tons of people who helped us. And they benefited from a lot of the civil rights things that passed too. So, it wasn't like this was done, without receiving benefits. Everybody received benefits. Why? Because when things happen for us as Blacks, African Americans here in this country, all boats, the tides lift all boats. Okay. And I know you've heard that saying before. I'm not sure who said it. So that's just a fact. But one of the things that we are realizing, and I have been saying it for years, we need to look out for our own interests, period. And we need to take care of home. Charity begins at home. Does it mean you don't help people if you can? You should, I think, if you can and if you want to. But I don't think that a lot of these things that's going on over here and over there, sometimes we need to just sit back and watch what happens because people are not listening to us. And sometimes people need to see stuff. Okay? They believe stuff that they see and experience rather than when we tell them. And that's just a fact. And that's what's happening with the group that sided with this man. And they're realizing some things, okay, that we already knew. So I'm going to get to some of the comments. If you have questions, place them in the comments. One of the things that was asked is, why can't they resolve their issues? Why expect us to do it? I believe that was in response to the question that the gentleman asked in one of the comments where he said, are Black women feeling that Black men are not worth protecting? I don't know. I don't know why they can't. I think they can resolve their own issues, but I think that Black women have been, tied to the hip so long to Black men that when we say, hey, I have this issue, this concern that you have, but in addition to that, I have other concerns. I think sometimes people, Black men, see that as Black women not supporting them. I don't know why they see it that way. I can't explain it. I'm not going to try to explain it. It's unfortunate because I feel that it's energy that is wasted. Okay. I feel that. I do get those type of questions, red state, blue state, where all the time on my channel from Black men who say, hey, so are you saying this does not apply to Black men? And again, you'll never hear me say anything like that ever. I will never say that it doesn't apply to Black men. My brothers are Black men. My dad's a Black man. Okay. My uncles, my nephews are Black men. So yes, things apply to them. And but this channel is curated for those who experience the intersectionality of being Black and being a woman. And again, others can benefit from the content and the topics that we discuss on the channel. I discuss things that you can apply. In fact, I encourage people, if you see something on the channel that is, that is beneficial, take it and make it a template. Um, I had a Asian man come in my comments, and this person was very upset. And I say Asian man, I believe he identified himself as an Asian man. That's the only reason why I'm bringing up the race, because I think he said he was Asian man, and he was very upset. And he was like, so are you saying this doesn't apply to Asian women, and back and forth and what have you? And I'm like, it probably does, but I'm talking to Black women. And so my thing is, if you find something that applies to you and you want to talk about it and you want it addressed, I encourage folks, write a book, start a YouTube channel. It's free. Okay. It's free. And talk your talk to your people, to your community. I have a specific community I'm talking to. Now I have people from all around the world who look at the channel. A lot of the topics I discuss, they happen to be topics that I discuss from an African American in America's perspective. I just read to you a comment where somebody said, hey, Colette, this applies and it happens in the UK as well, right? I do have people in the UK watching the channel, but keep in mind, my perspective is going to be from a person, a Black woman who lives in America. That's my perspective. And so that's what the channel is about. And that's what the channel will continue to be about. And my content will continue to be curated to Black women. However, Black men are welcome to watch. I mentioned that the reason we have this live is because Ike said, hey, told my daughter to tell me, hey, tell your mama she need to start the lives back. He is a young Black man. Okay. He's a young Black man, and he is benefiting. I believe that's why he's watching. He's benefiting from the content, and he understands that even though I am, referencing Black women, he can benefit from this. Right. So, I will continue to talk about things that are important to us, and I will try to add, some more videos during the month. I know during November and October, I just was I needed to take a break. But I'll try to get these lives back on regularly. This is the last live of the year. I think I might do a live a little bit later on in the month. We'll see what happens. I am not gonna do last year I did a Vlogmas, and I think it was 14 days. So I'll make that material. It's still available. So I'm not going to do a brand new Vlogmas this year. I may add a couple of videos to the existing playlist. So you'll get something hopefully every day that you can look at. So it's important to go to the community tab, because what I'll do is I'll put a community post and I'll put a link to the video that I'm encouraging you to look at for the day. And the Vlogmas that I did last year, some of the videos were as short as 8 minutes. Some of them were like 10, 15 minutes. And they were just in things to encourage you. I called them gifts, gifts from me to you. So check those out. I'll start those, I believe, on Monday. So make sure you're looking at the community tab. And then I'm going to read a comment, and then we're going to get off this live. Let me see. It's all about non-Black women and men expecting us to resolve things for them. I think that Black women have traditionally been known to be there for everyone but ourselves. We've done that for years. And I think people are just not accustomed to us saying, I'm going to look after my own interests for a little bit. And it doesn't make them bad people. It just means that it's a change, it's a shift, right? And I'm never gonna bash black men. I love black men, so I'm never gonna bash them. So I hope this doesn't come off as bashing black men. But I think people are just not accustomed to black women saying, "I'm gonna check on me for a little bit." It's kind of like the mom. The mom in the house does everything for everybody generally, right? And the moment she says, close the door and says, you know what? I am taking a day off for myself, right? I'm just going to be to myself. Then people, they don't understand it. The household doesn't understand it. And I shouldn't say they don't understand it. It's just hard because they're so accustomed to mommy being there for everything. I remember years ago when my kids, they're now 26 and 23, when they were little, I want to say like maybe 5 and 2. And I would go in, sometimes I would go in my bathroom just to get a break. I'm working, I was going to school full time, and, I had my babies. And so I would go in the bathroom I just needed to breathe for a minute. And I would close the door. I would see little hands under the door. Mommy, are you finished yet? Are you done yet? So the point I'm making is, I think when you say it's all about, non-black women and men expecting us to resolve their issues for them, I think that's part of it. And I also think that people are just so used to us showing up to everything for everyone all the time. And with many of us waking up saying, listen, I'm exhausted. I can't continue. This is not sustainable. And reprioritizing things. I think that is something that folks just need to get used to, because I don't know about you, but I'm not going back to running myself ragged anymore. That's never happening again. That's not going to happen. Right. So I hope that folks understand, it's time for you to speak up, stand up, march and do whatever you got to do, write the stuff, bake the cakes, do whatever, do the fish fry, whatever. That doesn't mean that black women should not support causes that they feel passionate about. I do think we should do that if we want to, but I don't think we should feel obliged anymore to show up to every single thing. There was this saying years ago, and it's not a good saying. Black women took it as a compliment for years, but it was a saying. It was like, if you want something done, give it to a black woman. Why? Because we would get it done. We would fit it into whatever we had to do with our husbands, with our partners, with our kids, with our job, with running the household, with cooking, with cleaning. We would get it done. But now black women are saying, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Okay. I'm done with that. Let's see. Do I have any more comments? Yes, I see another comment. As black women, we have a bad habit of centering others and we lose out every time. And it's true. What happens is, I think we're also brought up to care about the needs of others before ourselves. And many of us in our religious background, we're taught that, we should be selfless, and, we are taught that if you prioritize yourself above others, that you're being selfish. I know that's my take and how I felt I was trained in my religion. I'm a Christian, and I'm not bashing Christianity. I'm going to be a Christian forever. But the point I'm making is that, there's so many things in the ways that we were brought up as black women that we do tend to center others. We center our husbands, we center our kids, we center our jobs, our employees, if we have them. We center everybody, the dog, before our own needs. And now we growing up. Not that we were kids, but black women are growing up. we're like, hey, enough already. Enough already. I am going to do what I need to do to have one, peace of mind, to be free, and to be happy. And that's okay. That's okay, right? And to be protected. Okay. So I don't know how I got there, but I just want to say keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about this affirmative action stuff. We've always made it, and we always will. Um, Black women, Black men, we have some conversations that we have to have with one another. We have some conversations, and we have to um, come to some understanding so that one does not feel neglected, and you know try to work that to where people understand, hey, I'm not neglecting you. Taking care of me is not neglecting you. Okay. Talking about my needs is not saying yours aren't important. What I'm saying is, you know I'm going to handle the things that concern me. I'm going to address the things that concern me, and I am not going to continue playing these roles that other people have written for me. And what people don't understand is that when people expect Black women to show up to everything for everyone, that really is a fruit from the plantation and the slavery seed. It really is. Why? Because in slavery, during slavery here in America and abroad, I know it was different places, but during slavery here, Black women were the most valuable property on the plantation. Why? Because from the I read a article that said from the waist up, Black women produced. They were in the fields picking cotton, right? But from the waist down, Black women reproduced the workforce. Okay. So people have been accustomed to having the ability to dictate what we do with our lives, right? Forever. And now Black women are saying, no, you're not going to do that. So I have a comment. We have to know when to take the superwoman cape off. Yes, and that's from my mom. Hi, mama. That's from my mom. You know, we have to take that superwoman cape off. And, we have to teach our daughters to take that cape off. I actually had a cape. It's around here somewhere. I had a cape on my chair. Now, my cape was a Wonder Woman cape, but I had it on my chair at work, right? I had a Wonder Woman cape on my chair. And we sometimes wear that as a badge of honor, that Superwoman cape. Meanwhile, we're burning ourselves out. I read a study that they're looking and they're finding that Black women are dying earlier and earlier from heart attacks. Okay, from heart attacks. Many of us, we have cortisol levels that are out of control. And we know that cortisol is the stress hormone. And what does that do? Shut down all of your hormones. It messes with them, right? Causes weight loss, weight gain, hypertension, all of the things, right? And it's stress. And though we look good, we got on our earrings and our rings and our hair is done and we have on our pumps, we look good. But a lot of times we are wearing ourselves out. So anyway, that's a whole nother video. And I think I have a bunch of videos on that. So go check them out. So I'm going to end this live. Please, if you're in here, hit the like button, the thumbs up button. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll wait around for a few more minutes. It's going to be like 8 o'clock here in California in a second. And I need to order me something to eat. Let's see. Here's a comment. Funny how no one else gets the religious lesson. Yes. I think people get it. I think people just don't acknowledge it. They don't want to, because think about it. if you have somebody who's doing everything for you, who wants to give up their help? Let's just keep it real. A lot of times, even on our jobs, Black women have been the help, right? And I mean, even when we're the boss, we have been the help. And what I mean by that is if you want to know about a law, okay, so and so know, she can get it for you. You want some research done, give it to so and so. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. And let's see, what is that last one? All right. Well, hey guys, it's been great. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming. I will try to keep these lives more consistent. Um, and they're supposed to be on Fridays, and they're going to be on the Fridays, the first Fridays. And so I might throw an extra live in here on December, just because I didn't do all the ones. I didn't do one in October, and I didn't do one in November. The other thing is, remember that I probably will do the vision planning session that people requested. I probably will do that one during the January live. So that live might be a little longer if I decide to do that. If I decide to do that, sorry about that, then I will put it in my community post tab. So you guys make sure you go to community post. That's how you can keep up with what's going on with me. Also, there is an Instagram channel. It's called The Colette Elizabeth. That is an Instagram account. That is my public Instagram account. Please follow me there. I try to just post. I post the videos there, and I'll try to do more posting of other things later. But right now, just follow me on the, make sure you're looking at the community tabs. Try to binge watch some of the videos. I don't know if I shared this. Channel is monetized now. So, hey, I'm very happy about that. And let me know in the comments if you have topics that you want to discuss during the next live. I'm always in my comments. I take the notes. I'm a little slow about getting back to stuff, but I'm going to be a little better this year. I will talk to everybody later. Hey, Mama, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you for commenting. All right. Love you guys, and we will talk soon. And again, like I said, don't worry about this affirmative action stuff, because, honey, we going to be all right. We know how to make a way out of no way. Okay. I have seen it done. I was raised by somebody who did that, and I ain't going to worry about what's happening with affirmative action, and you shouldn't worry about it either. All right. Peace.